news from the
Hey,
victims
you
at
did
the
think of
vault.
bumper.
Switch to channel 2, please.
Good morning. How are
Good
you?
morning. Yeah, not too bad. How are you?
Well, I'm
Uh-oh.
much better now. They're gonna release Sean from the ICU today. So,
I see you. What happened?
oh, you don't know?
Uh,
Wait, have you talked to Flop?
I've talked to Flob, yes.
Oh, okay. So, the shootout that led to Lenny's meltdown, where he
Right,
shot other
yeah.
officers. Yeah.
Oh, so Maple was involved in that shootout?
Yes, he took
Okay.
four gunshot wounds, got officers
Jesus.
to safety, and then bled out. So
God's sake. Okay. And he's doing
yeah,
all right?
he's the surgery was a little hairy, but he pulled through, and he's been in the ICU all weekend. So they're gonna let him go today.
Okay, fantastic. All right. You
Yeah.
holding up all right?
Yeah, I got a really bad crick in my neck from sleeping in the hospital bed with him, but that an act of God is the only thing pulling me away from him. So,
Yeah. Yeah. That
yeah.
it happens. It's unfortunately part of the job, but it's not a nice part of the job.
Yeah, it was just while he was in surgery, I was called in to treat Lenny, and then I found out why he had been shot multiple times, and I'm just we literally had Kit, Sean, Leo, and Bay all in the ICU at the same exact time.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, Sean and Bay went down during the shootout, and then of course Kit and Leo were shot by Lenny. So
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
That was
it's
Hello.
yeah, it's crazy because his attitude, Lenny's, while I was treating him was very, you know, uh, I don't know. He just seemed very like he very much snapped. So much
seems so,
so
yeah.
that he was handcuffed to the bed. So when I helped him, to his feet, he lunged at Flop
Oh my god.
and almost kicked me in the face doing so. So yeah.
I don't know. It's I can't fathom how that came to be honest. Someone like that slipped through the cracks, to be honest. So that's
Well, I
interesting.
mean, it's because the chief of police is spineless and hasn't put I mean, if he had reined Lenny in, there's no way that this would have happened. But because he wants to be everybody's motherfucking friend instead of their boss, this is what we get. And now he wants to do something about shit and come down on the wrong fucking people.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, if Lenny had been showing signs of similar, obviously not shooting cops, but violent acts or anything like that before, and he hadn't been disciplined for it, and it led to this, then yeah.
Sean told me that just earlier that day there had been an incident where he literally pulled his car out in front of a vehicle that they were chasing that was going very high speeds to act as a roadblock. And when Maple told him that he shouldn't be doing that, Lenny 10-3'd him.
Really?
Yep. So, yeah, it's I'm sure there were probably many other instances of, him just being insubordinate and just doing whatever the fuck he pleased. So yeah, I don't know.
When it came to a head in the worst way possible.
Hi. If y'all have a delivery, y'all go ahead. I'll stay over here out of the way. Uh-huh.
A delivery?
Yeah. That's sometimes my neighbors get a delivery, so sometimes it ends up delivered to the wrong door. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was someone running away from the house the other day with it, and then there was gunshots down on the beach.
Yeah. Sometimes, they're not happy with their order, so they get a little rambunctious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. The whole thing was a fucking nightmare. I was on duty, and to have him be brought in and like the EMS didn't realize that, we were together and whatnot, but he literally just brought me to Sean's bed where he was just bleeding out and unconscious, and all I could do was just rush him back to the OR to Duke to take care of.
I mean, you can't ask for anything more, to be in control and right and be able
Mhm.
to be the one who can actually fix everything up, and
Yeah.
he's
I
alive because of you. So
Well, all I did was start an IV, and get him to the OR because we're really not supposed to treat, loved ones.
already,
Yeah, yeah, conflict of interest, especially, I mean, if it's an emergency situation and I'm the only doctor on duty, then it's fine. But, we're not really supposed to operate on loved ones. So,
didn't know that.
yeah, yeah, it's just to avoid any kind of, emotional, overload, I guess.
I guess. Okay, but other than
Yeah.
that, you doing all right? So he's all right, and you're okay.
I mean, uh, the mayor called me a bitch at the shift 3 meeting that night, so that was great.
Why?
Because Barrick was talking about the shooting, and Cornwood made the comment that Slacks probably deserved to be shot,
Huh?
and I said that was a disgusting remark, and he, you know, I couldn't believe that he, would say something like that. And Max was like, "Shut up. Just shut up, Etta." And I was like, "How about you have respect for somebody for once in your fucking life, Max?" And he goes, "I do have respect. I'm the one staying quiet, bitch."
What
So,
is wrong with everybody?
oh
Is
yeah, it
is there something in the
was
water? Like what?
I don't know. I apparently he hates me so much that he can't even stand the sound of my voice. So,
Huh?
mhm. Yep.
Well, I mean, first of all, Cornwood saying that is crazy,
And
and
disgusting.
was Beric there for that?
Yeah, Barrick was also, telling him that nobody could ever do anything to deserve what happened to him.
And Beric did nothing to
So
Cornwood for that.
no, no, he admonished him, but then Max and my back and forth kind of took away from that, I guess, and then he didn't even
Bro,
say anything to Max. He was just like, "Let's keep this to PD matters." So, it's fine, yeah. Well, it's fine. Like I said, he's spineless. So,
I was trying to flop earlier. I was like, if I was Beric, I would go into meetings. I'd be like, anyone who sympathizes for Lenny, put your hands up, and then I'd just fire everybody. Because,
exactly.
because anybody who wants to sympathize with someone who's shot your fellow officers is not someone I want on duty with other officers. Because then are they going to get the same idea and shoot other officers too? Like,
Exactly. They're going to think it's okay.
exactly.
They're
Like, you
going
got
to
to
think,
shut
"Oh,
that
well,
shit
this is what
down.
happens." Yeah, and it has to be a zero tolerance kind of
Yeah,
response.
100%. It's like,
Yeah, but
if you spoke to Flop, I don't know whether you spoke to Flop about his whole deal, but you should speak to him
oh
about
no,
that.
yeah, that's he and I had a brief conversation over the phone, where I relayed my fury, because needless to say, I'm just livid at numerous things that occurred that day. Um, but the fact that out of everything that happened that day, they're coming down on Flop
I told him
blows my
he's a punching
fucking
bag.
mind. He
He's a,
is. He always
he's,
has been.
mhm. They
And
just,
I am
if
sick and
Lenny didn't
tired.
happen, he wouldn't be getting this treatment.
No, not at all.
Nope.
Because he's not the first one to do this, and he won't be the last. I mean, how many times have there been 77 or 78's calls and Barrick is up chasing fucking tail in the goddamn mountains?
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong.
I can't even tell you the amount of times where I literally have had to chase him down trying to ask him city council shit. Finally, I gave up and I'm just like, you know what? If I need something from PD, I'm just going to go to Nakota, because trying to talk to Barrick when he's up in the mountains constantly, literally chasing fucking death because he lacks brain cells, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because why?
I don't know.
Because of
Question.
Andy.
I mean, yeah. Yeah.
He would not be involved if he wasn't head over heels for Andy,
I
trying to
spoke to
score brownie points with her.
I spoke to Matt about that, by the way. Um he he understands it was a mistake. He had his reasons for doing it. There was nothing like, he understands he was stupid, but he had his reasons for going along. He was just wanting to hang out with his mates. I think he was having a rough
Yeah.
day. He wanted to hang out with his mates and convinced himself that he wasn't really getting involved in anything by doing that. But he realizes that that was a silly thing to think, and he's not going to do anything like that anymore.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's good. That's
yeah.
good. I mean, from everything that I have heard, uh, I'm sure a lot of people probably started out in thinking that, and then ended
Hmm.
up in deep before they knew it.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. Yeah, that's why I talked to Ziggy about everything too, because I was really worried about Flop, because you know how he is. He just wants to bottle it up and he just takes it all, even when he shouldn't have to. And although I admire him for it, somebody has to fight for him. And the day that I adopted him as my brother, I told him it was because he needed somebody who would be on his side always, who would fight for him and would never leave him and always support him. And that is what I intend to do. Because everybody constantly makes jokes and shits on him constantly. And knowing now what he sacrificed for others without even a second thought, there is nobody in this city that is more brave and selfless. And nobody knows it except for us.
That's Flo. Just
And
a big hole and nobody knows it and nobody sees it.
I refuse to watch him be hung out to dry, become a scapegoat for lazy people who have no backbone and won't stand up for what they believe in, who have no convictions or morals and just want to be buddy buddy with everybody. Like, if you want to be buddy buddy with people, then don't be their fucking boss.
Yeah.
And that's why, I mean, hell, that's why I'm in the position I'm in, because I understand that line. And I know that there are going to be times when you have to come down on people and people aren't going to like you for it. And, well, you know what? It has to be done. Somebody has to fucking do it. And if you don't have the fucking balls to do it, then you need to get out of the way and let somebody who does take that position.
I mean, I'm not talking about the chief, but we do got the mayor elections coming up, right? What's
Jesus fucking Christ.
what's your thoughts about that? There's not exactly anybody that shines through, I'll be honest, but
I definitely don't want to see Max back in. Oh, by the way, the state account has plummeted. It's literally hemorrhaging right now.
no, because he keeps pumping it up and being like, "I love you guys. Here's free money."
Yeah, he's changing shit over to win votes, and we're literally hemorrhaging like 82 million to 68 million in 9 days.
Okay. Well,
It has never moved that much that fast.
so out of the
And
people that have put their name forward, who are you thinking?
Solomon.
Really?
Yep. Solomon and I have known each other
Fuck.
since his very first day in the city.
Fuck.
And we have always kept in
happening!
touch. We have always, maintained this friendship. When I was gunned down by some weird little fucker at Harmony,
Dark roads. Politician stories beginning.
Solomon was the only person who actively sought this person out. But, I mean, you look at it. Who else is running? Marlowe is not serious. Marlowe is running strictly to divide votes, to give Max more of a chance. Because Max has been throwing so much money towards grime. And that's like Marlowe's bread and butter. And Marlowe had told me, like, probably, I don't know, a week or two ago, that he would never, ever want a government position, that he was glad that I got the treasurer position because he couldn't imagine having to do it. And now all of a sudden he wants to be the mayor. And plus he ran fucking Diamond Hands into the ground. There's no way in hell I would trust him with the fucking state account. No way.
Yeah.
Marlowe is strict. He doesn't give a shit about the city. All he cares about is himself.
Okay, who else?
Archie Archer, far too naive. He has good intentions, bless his heart, but he campaigned for the Civilian Oversight Board for months. He was like a dog with a bone with that position.
And
he
now
gets
he's
it.
jumping ship. Yeah,
Yes, and now he immediately.
Yeah.
Yep,
Gives me bad
he immediately.
vibes.
Yeah.
He's just chasing. He's just chasing victory. He's just chasing power. That's what it looks like.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Because
Like,
once he found out that the civilian.
Right?
Yeah, no, they haven't been given anything because Malton fucking disappeared. Surprise, surprise.
Mm-hmm. You emailed Malton for me, right, about that thing? Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
I never got anything, by the way.
Yeah, he never responded to my message either. So.
And that's never going anywhere because it was Lenny who did that, by the way. So that's all in the water now.
Of course, yeah, because he's terminated. Yeah.
Anyway, so Archie, then who else? Little Tug, is it?
Okay, Stanley Miller is a gang member.
He is.
He's this tiny little. I've always had really good interactions with him, but then again, I usually have good interactions with a lot of people in this city. Um, he's mostly chill, but I know for well, okay, I can't say I know for a fact, but I'm pretty sure he runs with like a lot of well, a couple of very serious gangs. When he
Oh,
comes into the hospital with them quite often, um, I'm drawing a blank right now on who it is, but yeah, he comes in often with other people who have been shot up quite badly.
okay. That's not great.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But he is
But
very sweet, but there's no way that I would trust him in the mayor position.
Michael?
Michael. You know, I want to say that he and I came to an understanding and we're even friends. But with how buddy he has become with Michael and Siobhan both, I don't
Max.
trust
She means
him.
Max.
And I hate saying that because I thought I could trust him.
Hmm.
But a lot of it is now, I think that if he were to become mayor, he would be somebody that I wouldn't have to worry about him putting hits on me. I know that he would never hurt me, but I also know that he probably isn't my biggest fan either with how much I shoot everything down. That doesn't make sense.
Okay. Who else is on the list?
I'm pretty sure that's it.
And then Solomon.
And then there's Solomon,
Are
who,
we sure Party Hardy's not on the list? He's always on a list of
yeah,
mayors.
well, Party Hardy is a fucking joke. So, I mean, he was literally given deputy mayor under Max and did nothing with it. He threw like one like festival or whatever. And then as soon as Max whispers about him being impeached happened, he immediately sold Max out.
Really? Okay.
So he's only in it for himself. He is a showman. So he's all talk,
Mm-hmm.
and that's pretty much it.
No, but okay. So,
Yeah.
but then my problem is Solomon ADMC?
I don't know if he is or not. I know he's a lawyer for them.
Right. This is where my problem comes in because I think for Ziggy's sake, I think
Mhm.
voting for Solomon would be the best option because Ziggy told me that Solomon wants Ziggy to be his chief of staff. So
Right.
Ziggy being a chief of staff would mean he'd have to be a legal citizen for at
He
least
would have
3
to stay
months.
clean. That is
So he'd
true.
have to
Yes,
stay
both of
clean.
them.
So that means there'd be no chance. Well, there'd be a much higher chance of them not forcing him to get his hands dirty and do anything than he'd regret.
Right.
So, but then the issue then is Solomon just using the position, if he is a member of the club, just to further the club's position in the city?
Well, that's why we have a council, Richard, and
That's fair.
I would not allow that. And I've already told him as much. That, like I told him, I
Hmm.
was like, he asked me, what do I want in a mayor? And I was like, well, okay, first of all, I want one that won't put hits out on me. I want one that will actually use my knowledge and expertise, who will sit down and have civil conversations with me, who won't degrade and belittle me, who will respect my opinion, even if I'm disagreeing with him. And he said, I have known you for a very long time, Etta, and I would not expect anything less from you. So,
Hmm.
I know you're going to hate to hear this, but I am going full disclosure. I am friends with a lot of the ADMC,
Hmm.
and I adore them. They are good to me. Finley Milton, as much of a deviant as he is, has always had my back. He is a very long standing friend of mine, and I mean, yeah, McQuillan, but I mean, despite everything that we went through back then, we came to a somewhat friendly position. But then again, we haven't really much at all since the borders reopened. So, I don't know. But I mean, there's just a lot of the ADMC that I get along with, and I can go down there and not have to worry about my safety. So, it's out of
Hmm.
all the gangs, I'm just gonna say like they're not the worst.
Wait. All right. Well, hmm.
But yes, I do
It
see
might
your
be the
point
best of a
that
bad bunch.
I mean,
I don't know. I've still got to
who
talk to
better than the
Maisie.
devil you know, right?
Yeah. I'd like to. I need to talk to Maisie because she was going to have a conversation with him. Obviously, because they're partners, and that was after I told
I
her I saw
mean,
him going into the house. So I don't know how
how
that
well
went.
do you really know Maisie?
How when we're on Maisie? We're
Yeah,
friends. That's about it.
because you know that she was on this like witch hunt to like she was literally harassing Kiki, right?
Yeah, I think between you and me, yeah, Kiki owns like a 4 bedroom terraced apartment in her head.
Yeah, I don't know if Maisie is really somebody you want to trust all that much or put much stock into her opinion because she seems to kind of like grab hold of things and latches on for dear life and won't really hear anybody else's opinion about things, and she just kind of spins this narrative and blows things out of proportion, and it just I don't know. I get bad vibes from her. You know me. I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, but uh
I can agree. I can agree with you on some levels that she definitely has. She definitely has those tendencies that you're saying, like latching on and not letting go. Because we've had that conversation about Kiki about 5 times, and about 5 times
mhm.
I've said that doesn't sound like Kiki, and yet 5 times she said, "Oh no, this, and this, and it doesn't sound like Kiki to me." But she keeps saying it sounds like Kiki. But that being said, she also seems like the type that's just focused on the work and is only focused on catching people doing bad things. So as much as she has those
Mhm.
bad tendencies, like her focus and her moral compass seems like it's pointed in the right direction. So if her partner was in a gang, I think that'd be something she would be concerned about. So I'd hope she'd talk to me about it and tell me about it. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll
Yeah, but I think you and I okay, so let's say that even if he were in the club,
mhm.
generally if it's not something that he's openly broadcasting, it's probably like not something that he's going to want people discussing openly.
No, I agree.
And, some people take their privacy very seriously. And I just, want to make sure that, we don't end up prying and it be taken the wrong way, if you know what I mean. You know how some people are just really fucking cagey, and I don't know.
Oh, it certainly wouldn't surprise me if, like, I asked Maisie to keep my name out of it, but it wouldn't surprise me if my name has come up. So it also wouldn't surprise me if I get a phone call from Solomon sometime soon. But I think that conversation needs to happen at some point sooner or later anyway. Um,
Okay.
but given he's running for mayor, I'll be careful, but I don't see anything happening. I'll
Yeah.
play my
I
cards
mean,
right, and I think he'll understand where, like, my digging into ADMC is pretty much finished now that Ziggy's come forward about everything.
mhm.
My digging was only to see if he was lying, and he was, but we're past that now, and we're moving forward, and I've talked to him about it, and you know, but
I
it
mean,
said,
you also understand, like, that was a very difficult position that he was in, and that was a very difficult choice that he had to make, right?
yes, I understand, but it's
That's it,
very,
because you're well known. I mean, like, you have a history with dealing with MCs, and you realize that, how things are, about people with loose lips. And, I mean, the fact that he did finally, let his family know is good.
no, I agree, yeah, but it was a position he put himself in the first place, right? So, but listen,
Yeah.
we didn't need to go over the details, okay? Me and Ziggy,
But
we're on good terms for now. I think we're not on perfect terms, but we
yeah.
are, you know, hopefully we're getting somewhere. But
Do you remember the conversation that you and I had whenever you found out that I was boosting?
mm-hmm,
Do you remember how angry you were and how disappointed and you wouldn't talk to me?
yeah.
Yeah, and
Sound familiar?
you would call me Miss Hawthorne instead of Etta,
Mm-hmm,
and it broke my heart.
mm-hmm.
And remember how Matt came to you, and then I explained how incredibly divisive this city is, and that if you're not one side, you're another, and
Yeah,
that, if you're a civilian not doing crime, but you're not a cop, it's a very boring and lonely existence.
yeah.
Yeah. And, there are some groups out there that are genuinely like a chosen family. And, I mean, like I said, a lot of the ADMC I love to death, and I don't blame him for joining. If I were the type of person to blindly follow people's orders, who knows, but I'm definitely not that. But I just, obviously he didn't get caught. So he was struggling to find something, and he found something. So, and he's still helping people. He's just, helping them, in a slightly different capacity.
I suppose so.
And I know that's not what you want to hear. I'm just trying to help you see the other side of it because I've been there.
Yeah, the wisdom way I see it now is regardless of my opinions on it, it's Ziggy's in it. There's no way
Yeah.
out for him, so it's about dealing with that and just getting through it as a family and making sure we can, like, I like when I spoke to him the other day, it was less about him. I went and spoke to him. And I was asking him questions, and I didn't expect him to know the answers, but it was just like, if they ask you to do something that bad, I won't say it out loud, but if they're going to ask you to do something, what are you going to do? Because I know you're not that
Yeah.
kind of person. And, he didn't really know the answer. And I was like, you need to think about these things, man, because that kind of stuff could happen. You got to,
I mean, there are lots of people that are in quote unquote gangs who never do anything violent. There are some people who leave a gang that don't have to be blooded out. I mean, not, that's not the end all be all these days. So maybe things are different. Maybe he did join with the understanding that, it wouldn't be like that. We don't know, and he can't really tell us, the details. But
yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
it's just, but if we go digging and prying, then that may actually cause more damage than, yeah, than him just being what he is to them.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I know that at his core, and this is the most important part, is that he would do anything for Flop, and he will protect Flop at all costs. And that means that he will also protect and look out for the people that Flop loves. And as he stated, he considers you and Matt his fathers. He tells me that he loves me. And so, it's like they're his chosen family, but we're his family. So, and I think that's what we need to hold on to more than anything is the fact that, at the end of the day, which is why I kept reiterating it at the meeting, we are family, we love each other, and we don't put anything or anyone above each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the important part because this city does things to people, and it is very hard to maintain a very black or white stance on things because eventually you're going to end up feeling betrayed by literally everybody.
If I'm honest,
Yeah.
I really wish Matt and Flop never got invites back to PD because
Yeah.
it just seemed like everything's just spiraled downhill from there.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I kind of miss just the wholesome bickering over Christmas in England.
Right?
It was a much simpler time. Things were a lot more peaceful.
No wrong. We just gotta figure this out one way or another.
I don't know. I think as horrible as it sounds, like Matt and Flop are probably some of the few last bastions of logic and common sense and decent police work because everything else is just chaos and nothing makes sense. Oh no, it's part of the reason why I love Sean so much is because he upholds a lot of the same values that I see in Matt and you.
The difficult part is As much as it's easy to say that with what you're saying about ADMC and Ziggy, and that we should, it's the easy thing for me to do would be to just not crumble, but change my views on things. And but I feel like we are, as a family, as people, there's not a lot of people like us. The way we think about things and the type of people we are, good people.
Hmm.
I don't think there's a lot of us left, and I can literally see them disappearing day by
I
day.
understand that.
I
I
don't
mean,
want to
I'm
be
not
one of those
saying
people disappearing.
no. I'm not saying that we, cheer whenever we hear a 13 alpha. I don't want to ever become one of those people. I used to always fuss at Finn for saying shit like that, but I'll always hold life, valuable. I'm a doctor. At the end of the day, I don't want. I help people. I don't hurt them. But I also know that, in his own way, Ziggy is still helping people. And, deep down, hey, if, he's helping people that I care about, even McQuillan, you know, then, that's a bonus.
My worry is just not going to be Ziggy at the end of it.
No, he hasn't changed. Like I said, Ziggy is still Ziggy.
For now.
Ziggy still loves his husband. He loves his family. He's
Yeah.
not he was a cop for way too long to become one of these cop hating whatever that, celebrate, hearing cops being shot. But I think we've all had those moments where, I mean, hell, I'm guilty of it, literally wishing that Barrick, that I could kill Barrick because he just had me so fucking angry that I couldn't see straight. But I mean, yeah, that was me just venting because you know how I get, and I just have to say it out loud so it doesn't fester inside. But I don't know. Uh, I don't think I'm not worried that we're gonna lose him. I think he is just fine. I think we'll all be just fine as long as we hold on to each other. Because none of
Okay.
us are in this alone.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's the important part. I know it's very cliche and very Pollyanna of me to sit there and go, as long as we have love, what more do we need? But I mean, in this city, I mean, it's a lot of people are lacking that. So we still have love for each other, we still have compassion. I think, if anything, right now, the shit that Matt and Flop are dealing with is what concerns me. They're the ones that I'm worried about.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll deal with it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Thank you for hearing me out and
No.
talking to me. It
No.
was good to hear from
Thank
you.
you. You too. We'll catch up soon. We should really be setting like a. I think it's been enough times to see a clip so we can have another family meeting soon.
Yeah. I would really, really love to have like regular like family get-togethers where we can all just kind of check in with each other. I think
Yeah,
it would behoove us all, honestly.
I agree. All right.
All
I'll
right.
speak to you soon, okay?
Okay. I love you.
Love you too. Speak to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.